Okay.
So we are in the autonomous zone of Seattle, where the protests basically the epicenter of that. And I just wanted to touch base with some of the folks here and ask them to tell me a little bit about what's happening. So, can you tell me your name?
Yeah, so my name is Rashyla. My friends call me Shy, better known as Boots.
And can you give me a little bit of overview of what's been happening here?
Yeah, so I heard you say that this is the autonomous zone, and it was at first, but we actually changed it. This is now CHOP's Capitol Hill occupied like protest area, and that's so that we aren't treasonous, and they cannot come in and take over and occupy the area or take it back, because this is still a demonstration, it's still a protest.
So I heard you saying black leadership. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, so...
I mean, I know what leadership might be, but maybe it's something else.
Yeah, so right now what we're trying to establish is like a point of leadership roles within the community that are from people that are by POCs. You know, black, indigenous, people of color. Like, we want to make sure that there are black voices and black faces being elevated in leadership out here in Seattle, because we haven't had that before. You know, a lot of times when we have a movement like this, it gets diluted by a white face or a white voice, or elevated by a white face or a white voice. And we don't need white saviors. We don't need a white knight shining armor coming in and saving us. We're going to do it as a community together with black women, with black men, and our white friends and partners and allies, helping lift up and raise black leadership and black voices. And that's kind of what we're trying to establish right now. We're still establishing ground rules. You know, this is grassroots. A lot of us are new to this. Some of us are more experienced. Like, there's people from all walks of life here, and that's kind of what makes this such an amazing opportunity to work.
So I see the media is kind of portraying here as crazy, and I've been here for like right now 45 minutes. I haven't seen any problems. People have been nice to each other, having a good time, for the most part. Can you tell me, or like, what is your message for other parts of the country, the protesters, people who want to have what you guys have basically?
Work together. You don't have to agree on everything to work together. You don't even have to like the person that you are working with to work together under a solid message, under a solid movement. If you are divisive within your community and within the movement will not go anywhere. It won't. So I am telling, and I'm telling leadership here the same thing. I don't give a crap if you don't like somebody or you don't like what they have to say, but if they're fighting for the movement, you need to work with them, because they're going to offer a different perspective than you, and that is how you move forward. And you need to make sure that you are in constant communication and you are communicating effectively. Listen to hear, don't listen to respond. When you're listening to respond, you're not giving the other person a chance to actually say what they want to say and be heard and get that message across. So listen to hear, take it in, let it settle, and then speak. You know, because otherwise you end up saying the same thing over and over again, because you never actually responded to the question because you didn't hear the question.
So I saw your leadership in action. I really liked it.
Thank you.
Like, you were really commanding of respect. And how do you achieve that? Because in places like this where nobody knows you, I was just walking over there and I just saw like how people were listening to you, how respectful you were talking to them, how knowledgeable. So like, can you just tell us about, you know, what is your message for other folks who are going to be doing organizing things like this?
Honestly, I'm really new to this myself. You know, I've said this over and over again. This is the first time I've ever been in a leadership position within a protest. And I've been in leadership positions outside of protests, but within a protest, not so much. It's hard. You have to stay strong in what your message is. If you come out with a message, don't deter from that message. Don't backtrack from your message. Your message has to stay the same. I've been preaching solidarity, unity, and peace from the jump. But you also have to remember as a leader that there are going to be other voices, and you need to take the time to listen and hear and take those in, and then implement them into the movement as well. I'm not the only leader here. You know, they're Cookie is leader. Charlie's been helping, facilitate leadership. I've got plenty. I mean, I could list a whole names of people.
So
here.
what's the structure like? So how does that even come to be?
So it's been really organic. A lot of the tents and the volunteers that you've seen really just popped up and showed up and said, "This is what I'd like to do." Cool. Do it. Please do it. People have been coming in day and night, delivering water, delivering food, donating free hot meals, coffee. There's a kitchen back there that we're calling Riot Kitchen. And they're just literally cooking food, and so the volunteering is so essential to keeping a movement moving, because unless people are fed, unless people have water, everything that's being offered here is free. People are selling t-shirts and masks and stuff, which is fine. Sell your art. This is a Black community. We want to uplift black artists and push forward Black-owned businesses. Support that. So, but the food, the drinks, the water, all the volunteer stuff it's free.
And you've been sustaining this for how long?
We've been doing, so this is the third week of protests, but this is day 21 of protests. We've been out, the CHOP has been established now for a week.
What's the meaning behind the CHOP? What's the meaning behind the CHOP?
It's Capitol Hill. So there's, depending on who you ask.
Okay.
But what a lot of what we're just are saying is that it's Capitol Hill organized protest. Is kind of what we're saying. That's why we changed it from the autonomous zone. Like I said, is because we didn't want to be considered, fascists or terrorists, basically. So we changed it so that we could make sure that all of the protesters here were safe.
How safe do you guys feel?
So last night was a rough night. Last night was scary. Bye.
Love you.
I love you.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Love you.
Last night was rough. Last night was hard. We lost a brother last night, and there's a gravity in that is unspeakable. Especially in a moment where we're fighting against that kind of brutality. It's still very raw, so I apologize.
That's totally.
Like 2 a.m.
Yeah, 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So we're still really dealing with this.
Yeah.
A lot of us are hurt. A lot of us are scared. But what I will say is that because of that, we are coming together a lot stronger than we have in the last week or so that we can prevent that from happening again. And there's a beauty to that, because a door closed for a gentleman, but there is a possibility for forward movement from that happening. And that's not to take away from the hurt and the pain and the anger that we're feeling, because it's very, very real. But we have to make sure that we're taking preventative steps and preventative measures to protect our other protesters and by POCs from experiencing that further. So people are scared, people are angry. We're working on protection. We're working on making sure that there is more protection than there has been. Because the last couple of days people did feel pretty safe, and then last night kind of upended that. So now we're working towards a little bit better security, a little bit better measures to keep this place safe for the protesters, so that we can continue to facilitate change and push forward this movement.
But I really appreciate your time and your generosity for welcoming us.
I have one more question before you exit. What measures do you guys have in place to protect the movement from police infiltrations, from like undercovers, or not just police but also right-wingers from coming in pretending like they are down for the cause, but their intention is to destroy the movement? How do you guys kind of identify those groups from?
So it's hard.
The rest.
It's really hard. I will say one thing. It is easy to spot an agitator.
Good.
It is very easy to spot an agitator. They're gonna do their best to look like you. A lot of the time they're gonna be wearing like some like steel toe boots or like military grade boots. They always have a jacket, they always have a hat, they always have sunglasses, and their faces are always covered.
Right,
Every time.
right.
Every single time.
Because their intention is
Because
terrible.
their intention is to
They
antagonize.
probably have that conscious. Like
Yes.
they know.
So basically, what we're promoting, what we're saying is, we want people to be hyper vigilant. We want people to be hyper aware of their surroundings and pay attention to the people that they're with, and pay attention to people that are standing next to them. You know, so if you see somebody standing next to you and you don't recognize them, or you haven't seen them, or they're saying things that don't align with what the movement is, call it out. Say something. Because, and you need to make sure, and we are also advocating that you always travel in pairs. You travel in a group of 2 or 3 or more, because there's safety in numbers. And if you see an agitator and you call an agitator out, you then have backup, you have people to protect you, you have people to say, you know, you need to stop, that's not okay. 9 times out of 10, if you confront an agitator, they're going to walk away and leave, because they don't want that, they don't want to be seen.
Yeah.
They want to start shit and take off. 9 times out of 10. For the agitators that do stick around and do want to be loud and do want to disrupt, my take on that is to, I don't want to silence any voice. Everybody has a right to speak. Everybody has a right to their opinion. Everybody has a right to speak their piece, right? Unless they are harming the cause, unless they are promoting, specific violence against each other, that kind of thing, I say personally, let them go. You know, other leadership thinks that they need to be removed, but that's on a choice-by-choice basis. It's a case-by-case basis too, because we do have moments where there is somebody speaking their piece. We don't like what they have to say, but they're not doing disrespectfully, and they're not being, they're not causing an uproar. So we let them do it, and they go on their way. And you have other times where they're speaking their piece. We're like, you know what, this is actually completely backwards and going against what we're talking about. So we're gonna ask you to leave. And what we have done in the past is, as a group, as a collective, we have peacefully marched them off and out of the area as a group. So we just walk around them and we just press forward until they are, and we do it as fast or as slow as they're willing to do, without, immediate, like, hands-on approach, and that's been really, really, really useful. We're literally having an agitating situation.
I mean, that's
right
what
now.
that's the kind. If you want to turn the camera that way, that's the kind of episode that's happening sometimes. And these guys, they're the kind of folks that stick proud.
Yeah. So there's actually, right now what you're seeing, there's this is one specific guy, and a group of like 2 or 3.
She's talking about the guys that I just pointed the camera to.
I believe one of them is a pastor, and he's coming in and preaching hellfire and you're going to hell, repent, which,
Kind of like a doomsday preacher.
Doomsday preacher, which, okay, have you believed? Freedom of religion, great. But telling people that they're gonna die and go to hell, this is not the space for that.
It's interesting. They're not going down the street like other places where.
No, they're here because there's a large group. They're here because there's ears to hear.
But they don't do that like in football stadiums and other places where people gather. They're doing this, I feel like they're against the movement.
Any kind of protest in the city, you're fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Anytime you have a gathering or a protest,
So they're just looking for
or
audience.
an assembly, they're looking for an audience, and right now they have one, and they're getting attention. And so I always say, I'm like, you know what, people want to listen, let them listen. If we're going to do something else, don't give them the attention. Because if he's not getting the attention, he's going to go away.
Right.
Just like a toddler. You know, if you don't, if you ignore, if a toddler is acting out, they're throwing a fit, instead of engaging in the fit, you walk away from the fit and you ignore it. That kid's going to stop crying and throwing a fit almost immediately, because they're not getting the negative attention. To a lot of people and to children, all attention is good attention, no matter if it's negative or bad. So I taught preschool for a while. So that's my approach.
Yeah, she's very smart. I have 2 questions to ask you. I've seen a lot of signs that says abolish SPD, abolish the police. Seattle, as you know, the black community is being pushed out away to the south, North Seattle, South Seattle, Federal Way.
South District,
Yeah,
District,
they're spread out to King County. Why are we not focused on other police departments like Tukwila, SeaTac, King County Sheriff.
Yeah.
Why our focus is on only SPD, not the rest of King County Police? That's one question.
Okay.
The other question I want to ask you is, I've also seen resign.
I'm actually having a hard time hearing you.
Okay, let's go back. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Sorry.
Yes, okay.
I see you.
The other question I want to ask you is, I have seen a lot of signs that says for the mayor of Seattle to resign, Jenny Durkins. Why are we not focused on the police chief, who's a black lady? I describe it as she's visually satisfying the community, but constructively and systematically the same. She continues the same police injustices, structure. But she looks like the community, but she doesn't have the best interest of the black people in her. I don't know why we don't talk about her.
Okay, so let's go back to the first question, which was why we're not focusing on other cities. So I will say that we are. We are talking about how we can organize and group together in some of the surrounding Seattle cities and the suburban cities around Seattle. I lived in Federal Way. I went to school in Federal Way. I lived in Auburn. I went to school in Auburn. That's kind of the area that I grew up in.
Yeah.
So those areas are near and dear to my heart. Right now, because there is such a centralized focus here, and we do have Durkin's ear, and we do have the fire chief's ear, and we do have Beth's ear. That's a lot of the reason why there is a lot of focus here. But within some of the research groups and stuff that we've been doing, there's a brotherhood that I've been speaking to that we're in direct communication with, or we're actually working with the researchers so that we can figure out what city is the best city to go to first, so that we can do this in a tactful way, basically, and make sure that we're reaching the cities that are going to be able to respond the quickest and have a turnout to support it, so that then we can go to the smaller cities with the smaller turnouts and actually make an effective difference.
Makes sense.
Because what we did here is really, 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 really cool. It's really awesome. This is a brand new thing, and we want to be able to make this happen other places as well. But before we can make that happen other places as well, we have to make sure that we have it on lock, so that when we do move out and move forward with it, that we're presenting the other communities with something tangible. We want to make sure that we are doing it right for them.
Exactly.
As far as focusing on Durkin resigning and Bess, Durkin is not my favorite person. I don't agree with the things she does. I don't agree with her on multiple things. I am 100% support. What I will say, and what I've said to a couple of my colleagues and friends and whatnot, is that we have her ear right now, and we need to take advantage of that. And as much as we don't like her, it is imperative that we speak to her. And we have leverage right now. We have a lot of leverage. And it's imperative that we use that leverage to get what we are looking for. And then once we get what we're looking for,
pick your battles.
Yeah.
She can go.
Exactly.
Because who's to say that the next person is in office is going to meet or be willing to work with us. They might be worse.
Yes, right.
So right now we have an ear, right now we have a foot in the door, so let's utilize that. As far as Best, it's hard because she is a woman of color. And she has a chance and a choice to be doing something really powerful in her city. And we're not seeing that from her.
She's deeply rooted.
She's very deeply rooted in the system.
Yeah.
And that's frustrating because she came up from the community. She came up as an officer.
She's from Federal Way.
From Federal Way.
Yeah.
So she has a chance to do something wonderful, and she's not. And that's something that we've actually expressed to her the couple times that we have.
Lachelle died under her watch.
Yes.
Yep. So as Che Taylor died under her watch.
Exactly.
And she never done anything about it.
No. So there's a lot of research that's going. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. There's a lot of research.
I think we need to.
We need to wrap it up.
I think you guys are busy.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's not doing what she should be doing. Point blank here.
Exactly.
She has a platform and a chance to do something really positive and powerful for her community, and she is being silent, and she is not
complicit.
She's not moving, and she's actually
She's
being
complicit.
very complicit,
Yeah.
and she's working with the system instead of fighting against the system
Exactly.
that has oppressed her
Very
since
much.
she's been born.
Because her bank account is good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because she's not hurting like the people. You know, we live in this community. I've been out of work since the 17th of March.
Wow.
You know.
Thank you very much.
They're all still making money out here.
Yeah.
They were making money while they were fighting against us protesting.
Yeah,
They were
exactly.
working overtime.
Overtime, yeah.
Okay, first, I don't know if y'all know this, but the SPD has never gone from a pen to paper hour shift log
Yeah.
timesheet. Thank you, to digital. They're still doing pen to paper timekeeping.
Which can
There
be
are
manipulated, yeah.
officers which can be manipulated, and there's no concise way of organization in it. There are officers on the force right now, and I have this research in my possession. In a 24-hour work shift, clocked 31.4 hours
Wow.
for a 24-hour work shift.
Yeah.
There are officers who are making double their salary in overtime.
And they visit us from the suburbia.
And there are officers who most officers work side jobs as private security. So they're overworked from working overtime and then overworked from working on the weekends when they're not working for the city. So,
It's pretty sad, yeah.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
No,
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thank you, Maya.
And I'm gonna. You guys, can I tag you on Facebook? Do you have any Facebook?
I have Facebook. I don't mind. That's fine. Like I said, but seriously, like you guys protesting in
Portland.
I heard a little bit about that. Good fucking job. We're really proud of you guys.
Yeah, Portland.
And all the other towns.
You
I actually
guys are
live in
going
Corvallis.
against my uncle who's a
Portland, wake up, Portland.
Oh, really? And also in Corvallis,
Yeah.
in Albany, in Salem, everywhere. It's happening.
Please keep it up because this is a movement.
The pressure
This is a
has to
movement,
go.
not just-
Personally, I don't care if you fuck up my uncle.
It's about the system,
Right.
right?
It's exactly. It's
Not
about
about
the system.
individuals.
And we're fighting an oppressive system that promotes systemic racism. And that is what we're fighting against. And that is what we want to dismantle. That is what we want to defund.
And it's
You know?
global now, by the way.
It is global.
Like every country,
there's
I mean, a lot of countries.
every country. Listen, there were protesters in Iran holding
Yeah.
signs that say Black Lives
Australia,
Matter.
Oh, yeah.
Germany.
Netherlands,
Israel.
Right.
Everywhere.
It's been crazy.
Starting to wake up.
You know, so the
People
world,
are
the world
realizing.
is waking up. But like I said, you have to work together. It's all about working together. It's all about putting together this community. You do not have to agree on everything to work together. You don't. But it is imperative that you work together for this movement to move forward. And I will say this too. It is also imperative that you make sure that your white brothers and sisters, your white allies, your white friends are standing next to you in solidarity.
That's true.
And they're
Very much.
standing next to you in peace, and they're standing next to you in this movement, and they're uplifting other BIPOC and Black leadership voices to make this movement work. We cannot make this movement work without our white friends and allies. We can't. Seattle is 93% white. We wouldn't be here if it
Without
weren't
them.
for our
Yep.
white friends.
Very true.
Simply wouldn't. So no matter where you are, it is imperative that you make sure that your white allies are working with you and that you are allowing them to work with you and learn from you. Because a lot of them don't know a lot of the stuff that we know. And in order for them to learn, they have to stand next to you and listen to these kinds of conversations. You can't educate them if you exclude them.
Exactly.
So
That's a very good
you have
point.
to make sure that they are standing next to you and they can just stand there and listen.
Because what we're fighting is white supremacy, right?
Exactly.
Not just white.
Exactly. We are fighting a
Again, it's
system.
another evil
Capitol
system.
Hill is 2% black.
Yeah. So
They got us. They have our back.
But I like the leadership. I like the keeping the leadership, making sure that people who have been sidelined are taking the leadership and educating. So that's exactly why we.
Thank you. Thank you guys.
For like 3 hours.
thank you
I'll
guys
end
for
this.
being here. Are you guys marching today?
He's giving you a pump.
Are you guys gonna go to
He's giving you a pump.
the march in the U district?
Yeah.
You guys are?
We're gonna be a sticking around.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard, but later on tonight we are having a council meeting out here on the field. What did Malcolm say at what time? What? The council is at 2:50.
Look at that. So beautiful. The structure here.
Yeah, I like this.
Structure. Yeah.
So there's a march.
something that
There's a
people can
march
take
at
it to
2
other
o'clock,
parts of
and
the
there's a
country.
council meeting at 2 o'clock as well.
March is in the
The march, yeah, the march is in the U district, so there's two separate events: a council meeting for CHOP, and a march in U district.
And what are the titles that you guys use? Like, is there like a title for organizer?
I'm a facilitator.
CHOP stands for Capitol Hill Organized Protest.
So if they want to copy the structure,
Yep.
they
Yeah.
just they call it facilitators.
Yeah. So because I have a problem with the term like, oh yeah, I'm the leader, because I'm not the leader. I am a facilitator of a movement. Cookies is a facilitator of a movement. You know, Caleb and JJ and Brooks are facilitators of a movement, and we are helping facilitate conversation and move this forward. And we have been put in leadership positions. That does not mean we are the leaders. You know, you can't have just one leader.
Have you? You're very eloquent and very smart, young lady. Have you thought about running for an office yourself to make a change?
I don't want to wear that hat.
Okay.
I don't want to wear that
Yeah,
hat.
there are different people for different work.
And the only reason I don't want to wear that hat is simply because I know it's a hard hat to hold.
But you want to hold those accountable who
But
wear
I
that
want
hat.
to hold those accountable who have decided to wear that hat because
Yeah.
they chose to step into those leadership positions. And by choosing to step into that position and step underneath that hat, they have a responsibility to the communities that they serve. And it is my job as a community member to make sure that they are upholding those community ideals.
Very true.
I was just saying like that you're a facilitator.
You're
and,
one of the
like,
leaders.
Like you're one of the facilitators. and that
Yes, sir.
I was saying like there's not one leader. There are multiple.
Oh, yeah, of
facilitators
course.
and-
Yeah.
That's all.
Thank you guys very much.
I heard my name, something bad about me.
Yeah.
Well, it was nice really hanging out.
It was
with you.
nice to
My
meet you
name is
guys.
Chaz. And I've been following a lot of different movements. I've been protesting myself.
He's got his own platform.
I think it's great. I think it's beautiful.
And I've been actually kind of like, I'm from Somalia originally, so I've been trying to motivate that group too. That folks too.
good.
Because we have to learn from our black brothers and sisters in here, because we are here because of them. I mean, we wouldn't even be allowed in this country had it not been for folks like Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks,
Marcus Garvey.
Marcus.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be able to be
Yeah.
here. Literally, there was a quota, and I mean, you couldn't be here if you're not white or from certain countries. So we come from Africa. We know we have roots here. We have brothers and sisters who have been fighting this for 400 years. The least we can do is join them.
Exactly.
That's what we do. That's what we do. It's so nice.
All right. Thank you.